Good morning, traders. This is Perry Wilkie with StartupTrading.com. It is 5 minutes till 9 a.m. Eastern Time on Tuesday, February 18th. So let's look ahead at the week real quick. Big ticket items for this week are obviously the VIX expiration tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. Then we're going to have FOMC meeting minutes tomorrow afternoon at 2. And then we're going to have OPEX on Friday. So most of the major ticket items this week are purely mechanical in the stock market. They really don't have, anything to do with regular scheduled news or anything. They're just mechanical. So as we look at earnings, there's, some decent sized companies, but nothing that is going to move the markets probably up a percent after the close or before the open or something like that. Um, so let's get into go back and look at Friday. So Friday, the Qs basically traded between 535 and just under 539. Uh, the SPY basically oscillated around 610, and the ES, got up to, or the SPX got up to 6125. And we did repair some, poor structure that was left in the charts previously, and then, left some unrepaired, and, that is what it is. It's the way it is. But as far as structure goes, just from Friday's session, the only thing we have here is a little split on the Dow, which basically doesn't mean anything at this point in time with the session. So let's look at positioning now. Like I said, the cash market closed at 61.15 basically. We're up 25 points, so that put us around 61.40 if we were to open here, rounding off. And you can see that for today, 6100 still probably your floor, and 6200 is probably your ceiling. Whether we can get to either end, we shall see, but I wouldn't necessarily count on it. If we look at what's in position for the week so far, that's still your marker, 6100 to 6200, with a little bit of a flip potentially at 6150. And because we are kind of narrowing down up here, especially for today, tomorrow with the VIX expiration, we could get volatility could open up from, you know, Wednesday into Friday's close. A normal pattern for a normal OPEX week, which is this is the title of my video, is we kind of are muted, maybe even rising into the VIX expiration tomorrow, and then at some point in time tomorrow, whenever or after that, whenever uh, market participants think that we've topped out for the week, they will start buying new protection. Buying that new protection will force the market lower. Uh, that's just a mechanical thing, and we will end up, peaking there and going into a low and closing on a weekly low on Friday session. That's the normal way a normal OPEX week works, with Wednesday being VIX expiration and Friday being OPEX. It doesn't mean it's going to play out that way, but it's probably like a 65 to 72% of the weeks. That's how they roll. So you have to be prepared that that is what is normal, and then just watch the price action. As long as it looks like that's what's happening, go with it until you see that it's not. Is all I can tell you. Don't force what's normal. Don't fight what's normal. Um, and then for today on the SPY, we're currently trading 612.21. And you can see that for today's action, you got markers between 610 and 615. It wouldn't surprise me if we stay in between those markers. That would be about 22 points lower or about 22 points higher or 28 points higher from where we are right now. That would be the band that if we get outside above 615 or below 610, it's probably not going to last. The only way it would potentially last is below 610 if the VIX kept one time framing higher. Looking at basically the Qs in the same way, we're trading 641.09 right now. And you can see that for today, we're going to have today, which is kind of crazy if you ask me. There are no, all these little dollar strikes between these $5 strikes. There's there's no one home right there. They haven't released those options yet. They're going to release them today and they're going to expire today. So I have no idea what the fuck they're doing over there at the CME at this point in time for this one, uh, or the CBOE, either one. But uh, that'll make it. So you have to realize that we could potentially be jumpy, although that would not be the norm for today. Each one of these strikes would be around, 205 to 210 points between these levels. And again, we're trading just slightly above uh, 540 at 541.15. So you have to assume for today, 545 would be your max high. That would be basically around 163 points higher than the NQ is trading right now, and that would be your ceiling. And then you have to assume that more than likely 535 will be your floor, and there's a high potential that we don't trade either one. We just kind of get sucked back towards this 540 today. But my guess is we kind of roll towards one of these. These are if you look at the rest of the week, and don't discount when I share these drawings, the legend on the right. Each one of these are 5,000 today that are on here. Look at tomorrow, each one's 2,000. So today has a lot of weight. And it's going to clear a lot of crap off the board. And they were probably just markers participants put in because we were heading into a 3-day weekend to kind of do some hedging or whatnot. So I think I beat up positioning quite a bit there. Looking at where we are again, we're up 25, about 25 points. We're trading 61.56. Keep in mind we skipped over, or we didn't skip over, but the highest point of control was 61.48.5. We'll see if that'll even trade today. It should trade, and then if it does trade, uh, you'll want to see if 61.35 can trade. That was Friday's point of control. This point of control at 61.48.5 goes back to the 24th of January. So again, we're above that just by a little bit. For some reason, if we pull back down this morning and you can't get to 48.5, do not, necessarily be looking for shorts. I'd be looking for more of a two-sided market if this trades this morning. But if it can't trade, it could just be that float up day. And we'll see if we can sweep into all-time highs, which is just for this contract. It was set off on the first day that it was the front month at 61.64 basically. Um, Looking at, I'm not going to beat this up, but again, we're, at the top end of the range for the ES. We could get a look above or at least get up to this 61.65. If you look right now, the NASDAQ is on a look above. The previous balance high for the last major swing uh, was this 22,075. We held above there on Friday. We held above it on that holiday session yesterday. We're above it now. So we could get that test of 22,400, and then we'll have to see what happens after that. But, to be honest with you, we could just sit here and get some distribution between this 22,075 and this 22,400. We could just kind of chop around in here most of the week. So that's the range I'm watching until it breaks, to be honest with you, on the Qs, or on the NQ, sorry. So overnight action for this session that started last night is 21 points basically, and I'm just going to be watching one time frame. If we do get clearer, and this will be up towards that 22,400, we got these signal prints up here. These are going to be draws on strength. So 22,386 to 22,400, and then of course, everyone and their brother wants a gap fill. We could get down. I would not be surprised to see us get down to this pivot point, which is the bottom of value area high, as I draw it at 22,170. I think that's where you should find support and then go positive. So goes from you know green to red, sucks some people in and goes back up again. So we'll see if that is indeed the case. It, you could always get that bearish engulfing candle down. You could get 80% roll. My guess is we won't see 21 or 22,135, which is Friday's point of control. We won't see that until Thursday at the earliest, more than likely. And then on serious strength or on serious weakness. So on strength, I think we're going up to this green box on the NQ. On weakness, we're trying to go back down under Friday's lows for the ES. So those are your two markers for directions. Again, you want to see a rising VIX to hit uh, these targets that are lower on the ES, and you want to see dropping VIX or VXN in this case to hit these uh, targets up at 22,400. So I'm going to, a little bit long-winded, welcome back into the week. Let, price develop a little bit this morning as Jack usually does on a Monday, although this is Tuesday after a holiday. And then, they should still technically probably be selling volatility the rest of today. And then tomorrow, whenever they think the market's kind of topped out and they start reaching for protection, it'll be like, someone rang the fire bell at a movie theater or something. They'll just be running all over themselves trying to get protection going into the end of the week. I hope this helps. You guys have a great day. We'll see what Jack's looking at, and I'll talk to you tomorrow.